surmise the market reaction. You thought perhaps some of it was a bit lackluster, but the market seems to be liking the fact that we might buy some new iPhones on this.
I definitely don't think this is going to drive iPhone 16 sales this fall in any significant way. I do think that over time, this is going to seriously drive sales of follow-up iterations of the iPhone. Maybe the one after, maybe the one after that, maybe the one after that, and well into the future. I do believe it's going to enable a set of a new generation of Apple devices, things like AR glasses, home robots, enhanced AirPods with AI and cameras. So this really sets the stage for Apple's future. Now, the most important part here is Apple no longer has to worry about the risk of people switching away from the Apple ecosystem, seeking a more AI-ified phone. Apple now has the same functionality that Samsung has, that Google has, that other players have in terms of deep AI integration into its devices. So I think from that standpoint, it's a positive, and that's making the street quite happy. I think they're digesting. There was a lot of stuff on Monday at the Worldwide Developers Conference. I think they've been going through what the Apple announcements were, and they see how comprehensive the set of tools that Apple's offering here, with a quintessential Apple spin, with its privacy standpoint and very deep integration.
Let's talk about privacy and integration, Kurt, because privacy has been called into question by one Elon Musk because of the integration with ChatGPT. And Kurt, can you just keep us up to speed with what Elon Musk is accusing here?
Yeah, well, Elon is basically saying that if ChatGPT is infused at the operating system level of these phones, that it would have access to all of the data on the phone, which would go to Apple and then go to OpenAI. What you have to remember, of course, is that Elon has a lot of incentive to, see this idea that this is an unsafe and a privacy issue, because he is building a direct competitor to ChatGPT with his XAI business that's building Grok, its own chatbot. So I do think that this is the kind of thing that he is, incentivized to do, to kind of pour cold water on this partnership, to, make people question or doubt whether or not this is done above board, because he stands to benefit here with his own business and his own companies building a rival product.
Well, Mark, apart from going to Tim Cook with this, we go to you, because I don't know anyone who can help square us up on whether this is a key privacy risk better than you could. Mark, what do you make of some of the accusations and whether or not this integration would open up any privacy concerns?
Well, first of all, I completely agree with Kurt, right? Elon Musk doesn't have the best of relationships with OpenAI and Sam Altman, for one. Doesn't have the best relationship with Apple and Tim Cook. He's not a fan of their App Store policies. He's building Grok, right, through his own XAI company, right? It's integrated for some users into the X app right now. So he has an incentive to sort of pour cold water on this idea and raise skepticism. On the other hand, I do believe there are some privacy questions here. I don't think there's many questions about Apple's in-house AI large language models. I think they showed in great ways how private their on-device AI is, their own iCloud-based AI protection. But once you start working with a third party, you're talking about servers that are powered by Microsoft Azure. You're talking about technology that's powered by OpenAI. There isn't a clearly explained way how Apple can verify the privacy of your data that's input into ChatGPT. In fact, when you start moving from Apple's AI models on the phone to the ChatGPT models, the phone makes it very clear that you're now in OpenAI territory, right? So I think the biggest thing they're doing right now is warning consumers that your data is being input into a third-party provider, but they haven't showed a way to verify the privacy of that information. However, Apple and OpenAI have said that they are keeping that data that's input from the iPhone especially private. They're not logging it. They're not creating data profiles. But it is really, the onus really is on OpenAI to verify that, and Apple to keep on top of OpenAI to make sure that they don't breach any of those terms on the privacy side of that partnership, which I honestly think they'll do.
Kurt, maybe therefore there is some reason to the shouting that's going on social media by Elon Musk, but also, Kurt, we're a bit immune to it. We've had Elon Musk throw some barbed comments to Tim Cook in the past, of course, about perhaps the way in which the App Store is run. We know that he's actually suing OpenAI. How likely do you think it is that he would ban Apple iPhones across his 6 companies?
I mean, this is someone who, as we know, Caroline, is not afraid of controversy and conflict and picking fights with other very rich and powerful people, Tim Cook being one, Sam Altman, Mark Zuckerberg, the list goes on and on. So I do think it's the kind of thing that, he might do to try to prove a point or to make a point. And, for him, he's now even sort of hinting at, oh, maybe he would build his own phone someday, right? Like maybe he would partner with someone for a phone. I think this is very Elon. It's on brand for him, right? He sort of picks these fights. He does it very publicly. He makes these grand claims or aspirations. And then, when push comes to shove, we'll see what he does. But I don't think it's the kind of thing that, for him, it's not a huge skin off his back, right? If it makes the point he's trying to make. And I think, as Mark and I have pointed out, that's the goal here, is to sort of cast doubt on this whole partnership, to cast doubt on these other companies that are considered rivals of his, and to do so in a very public way.